Hello, everyone. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, IG.
Hi, good afternoon, Adim. Let's just be patient. I'm sure Dr. Francis should be with us very shortly.
Not a problem, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Hello.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon,
Good
sir.
afternoon, Dr. Francis.
Yeah, how are you?
Hello, Doc. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Are we waiting for anyone or we can start?
No, we can start, sir. We can start.
All right, yeah. Where did we stop last?
We did data cleaning with Power Query.
Oh, we did data cleaning, right?
Yeah, with Power Query. Yes.
Okay, data cleaning. Okay, that's fine. Data cleaning. Okay. So are we okay with data cleaning now? Although there are still other things that we'll do Maybe I'll look for data much later so that we'll do some cleaning. Or if anybody has dirty data that we can use. But so what we have done so far, so normally in Power BI, the first thing you need to do is to what? Import your data. So we have seen that we can import data from different sources, isn't it? It can be an Excel file, it can be a CSV file, it can be from a database, an SQL server, it can be from the web, right? And any other source. Okay. So first thing to do is import the data. But you see, most time this data is not clean. So what do? We now need to what? Clean and transform that data. Okay. Now, especially where data comes from different sources, they need to do what they call build a data model. You need to build a data model. Okay. After the data model, then you can talk about visualization. But again, before you even visualize, there are certain things or insights you want to generate, but you have to create them yourself. So in Power BI, we use what they call DAX. Okay, then before you talk about your data visualization. So this visualization is the list of your problem. So importing, so we have looked at this now, right? So maybe today we can look at data model. Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
Data model. Do we have one more Sunday? Okay, yes, we have one more Sunday. So, okay, that's fine. So let's look at data modeling today. But in the process of you doing some other projects, now you start learning other, because the Power Query, you see, we just went through basic, right? But there's a whole lot. I can see do with Power Query, a whole lot. Okay. But since this is just introduction, this is just show you what it's about. But most of the cleaning you do, it's very easy to use Power Query to do it than using your normal Excel. Okay, so let's look at data model. Do we have that our Superstore data that we have been using?
Yes.
Yes.
We have Superstore data we have been using. Let's okay, that's good. Okay, let's use that.
Dr. Francis.
Yes.
Okay. Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Yeah. Thank you so much. From your voice, it's like you're not feeling too well. I can't help but notice.
Don't worry.
So if it's an hour or something, I don't know if the whole class is in support. You've done so much for us. So whatever the class decides.
No worries. Okay.
Or if you're strong enough to take us through, because I noticed it.
Don't worry, it's fine.
All right.
Yeah, thanks. All right, so let's use that Superstore data. Superstore. So where do I keep my own now? Or you know that your Excel workbook, the Excel workbook, that convert to table. Convert to table. I think we can use that one. Convert to table. Okay, let me share my Excel screen first. So can you see my Excel screen? Can you see my Excel screen?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. We can see it, sir.
Okay. Okay. All right, that's fine. Normally when you have a huge Excel file like this, what do we refer to it as? What do we call it? When you have a big Excel file like this with all the data in one place, what is it called?
Workbook.
Workbook. It's called what?
Is it data set?
No.
Raw data.
Eh? When we're dealing with SQL, we mentioned it. When we're dealing with SQL, we mentioned it. When you have one file, it's huge data, just in one place.
Is it unstructured data?
No, this is already in rows and columns. This is already structured now. It's called a flat file. It's called a flat file. And now, what you will notice is that for flat files, you see, you have a lot of columns, isn't it? Some may be redundant, some may be useful, right? But you have a huge amount of data just in one place. And if anything happens to this file, your whole data is gone. Okay, so rather than you having everything in one place, so that's why with your, when we're learning SQL, what we learned was what? Relational what? Database, isn't it? We'll have different tables, but somehow they are what? Related. Somehow these tables are what? Related. Hence the name relational database. Okay. Is that clear? So what we are now doing is that when we get tables from different sources, so just like you have different departments, so maybe you can have maybe sales department, maybe you have production department, maybe you have HR department, is it not? So it means that wherever they produce from, right, somebody will pick it up, somebody will sell it, isn't it? So somehow, even they are from different departments, we can still what? Relate all of them together. So when we build them in a structure, we refer to that as what? Data what? Modeling. Or sometimes you hear them, they call it star schema. It's a star schema. I'm sure we saw that during when we were dealing with SQL, right? Relational database. Did we?
Yes, it did.
Oh, okay. How many of us said it was not part of our SQL class?
I was not part.
Oh, you're not part. Okay, you're not part. Okay, let me just try and explain.
I was not too.
Oh, you're not part there. Okay, good. Okay, let me just explain it this way. Can you see this?
Yes.
Yes.
Very good. Now remember that in every table must have a unique identifier, isn't it?
Yes. Sir.
Good. So this is student table. What is the unique identifier there?
Student ID.
Student ID. Class table. What is the unique identifier there?
Class ID.
Class
Class
ID.
ID. Now, how can you relate? Is there a relationship between student table and class table? Is there a relationship?
No.
Looking at this table like this, is there a relationship?
No.
No.
So for there to be a relationship, what needs to happen?
There may have to be student taking the course in a class.
Yeah, students taking the course. So that means there may be another column here called maybe class. It's not the class ID. So that this guy can now be related with what? This table, isn't it?
Yeah.
So it's only when they have this relationship, hence the name of relational database. So in that case, I can have two tables and now still come up with what? A table like this. Can you see that?
Okay.
So that means student 1 is taking what? Class 01, 02, 03. Student 2 is taking what? 01, 04. Student 3 is taking what? 01, 02, 03, 04. And student 4 is taking what? Class 02 and class what? 04. Can you see that now?
Yes. Sir.
So what you are doing here is called what? A relational what? Database. Is that clear?
Yes. Sir. Yes, sir.
Sorry.
Hello?
Hello, please. How did we get here?
Oh, how did we get from where to where?
To this relational database.
How did we get there?
Yes.
Okay. Look at what he said here. That if you look at these two tables, right? Is there any relationship between these two tables?
No, please. But
So for there to be a relationship, it means that on this student table, right, we should have like maybe class ID here, isn't it? So
yes,
that
please.
these two columns can be what linked together. That is the only way they can now have what a relationship. Can you see that? So that what has given rise to this table.
Yes, I understand this part. My confusion is, you see this
Yes.
table, this relational database that you're talking about, like how
Yes.
did you get it? Is it something you just created? Or how did this come about? How do you get to this?
Okay, this
setup?
one, well, we're going to build it now.
Okay, all right, sir.
I'm just laying foundation. We're going to build it in
Okay.
that's data modeling we're going to now.
Mm.
This is just a conceptual framework, so just to understand the concept of how
Okay.
it works.
Thank you.
So when we talk about this relationship, when we look at this relationship, then in this relationship, can you see the kind of relationship we're talking about now? So even if two tables cannot be related directly, you can also relate them indirectly. For example, student has no relationship with class, but it's related through what? Enrollment. Can you see that?
Mm.
So student ID is related to enrollment ID, and class is also related to what? Enrollment. Can you see that? So
Mm.
somehow they are what? Related. Okay. And the kind of relationship we want to get is what? A one-to-many relationship. One-to-many relationship. And what does that mean? When you say one-to-many relationship, what does it mean? One-to-many relationship.
Does it mean that one student can have many enrollments?
Yes, one student can have what? Many enrollment or many classes, isn't it? You see, in that case, a student is a bit unique. It's just like if you are making sales, you can have one customer buy from you many times. If he buys from you 10 times, does that make him 10 customers?
No.
No customer.
It's just 10 transactions now, isn't it? But it's
Yeah.
one unique customer,
Yeah.
isn't it? So that's what they refer to as what they want to many. So think about it like your pivot table. Your pivot table, right? In your pivot table, if we had dragged maybe, for example, region, let's say I'm looking at region and profits. I'll drag region to where? Where do you drag region to?
Excellent.
You drag it to where?
X.
To the row now, isn't it?
Row, okay.
So even if we had north, west, south, east, to summarize them just into 4. Even if you had 1,000 there, to summarize them into just 4 regions, isn't it?
Mhm.
Why
Yes.
this profit? When you drag it now, where do you drag profit to in your pivot table? You drag it to where? Values. You drag it to where? The values. And when you drag it to
Value.
values, you're going to have something like this: north, south, east, west, isn't it? Now, on this profit side, what do you think happens on the profit side? The values that you have there. What does it do? It will sum it up, is it not? It will sum all of them, is it not? So you see that this one, the profit is happening what? Many times, isn't it? Why this on this side, it will summarize those many into the unique ones. So that means you cannot have duplicates here. Can you see that? So this is what we refer to as the one-to-many relationship. So technically, we refer to it as what? Cardinality. So when you hear cardinality, they are talking about what? The relationship. So the relationship can be what? A one-to-one. A one-to-one is just like two tables. You are merging two columns together. So if they are just there, just merge them together as one. But it's not always advisable, especially as analysts. What we are looking for is what? One to what? Many, or many to one relationship. Okay. Then you also have many to many relationship. Many to many relationship. But you try as much as possible avoid this one, because this one can cause problems for you. Okay. Many to many relationship. Okay. So the ideal one we are looking for as analysts is what? One to what? Many.
Dr. Pancake,
Yes.
what's the difference between one to many and many to one?
Which one? One to many and many, they are the same. They are just looking at it, depends on the angle you are looking at it from. It's just looking at it from the opposite side. They are basically the same thing. Just the angle in which you are looking at it from.
All right.
So
Yes.
that cardinality, is it for just one to many? Or
No,
it
everything
applies to
about relationship.
Okay.
Remember, I started talking about the relational database, not how you link the tables together, isn't it?
Yeah.
That most time every table will have a unique identifier. What's that unique identifier called? What's the unique identifier called? What is the unique identifier? What is it called?
Primary key.
It's called what?
Primary
A
key.
primary word key, isn't it?
Key.
So if you see that our table, right, they will all have what? Primary word key. And you see that a table, right, a primary key in another table is called what? A primary key in another table is called what?
Foreign key.
It's called
Foreign
what?
key.
A foreign key. Good. It's
Foreign.
called what? A foreign key. Okay. So let's look at this now. You see that this is student table, right? What is the primary key here?
Student ID.
Student ID.
Student ID.
Student ID. This is course table. What's the primary key here? Course ID.
Course ID.
Do you notice that there's also course ID on this table?
Yes.
So in this table is a primary key. Now it's appearing in this table. It's now called what?
Yes. Foreign
It's a foreign key that enables you to establish what? The relationship.
relationship.
Can you see that?
Mm.
And what kind of relationship are you looking for?
One to many.
One towards many. One towards many. That is why on this table, where is the primary key? It can only appear once. But on this one, can you see this one appears once? It appears again. It can appear what? Many times. Hence, it should be what? One to many what? Relationship. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
So it's just like your pivot table. Now, if you do a count now, this one will appear how many? Once. This one will appear how many? Two. This one will appear how many? Zero. This one will appear how many? Once. Is that not how you have your pivot table? Then you now visualize.
Yeah.
Is that not what happens?
Enough of
So that is what it's about. Okay. So once you are able to build your, look at the relationship, isn't it? You will now put it in a structure, right? You now put it in a structure such that the table be in form of, let me show you this. You put it in this type of structure. Have you seen a table like this before? Where they link them together like this. So this is the sales table. And these are all the different dimensions. You see, there must be a relationship between these tables. All these are all what? Tables. Okay? So there must be a relationship between time and what? Sales table, isn't it? The relationship between location and what? Sales. Item and what? Sales. Branch and what? Sales. Can you see that? What kind of relationship do you expect to have here?
one
What
to
kind of
many.
relationship do you expect to have?
One-to-many
One to
We must
many.
expect to have what? A one-to-many what? Relationship.
relationship.
Okay. Why this is a primary key here? Is it not? Time ID is a primary key in this table. When it appears here, it becomes what?
Foreign key.
Foreign key. And it is that foreign key that links this table all together. So when you arrange your table in this structure, it is referred to as what? A star schema. And also this is about what? That whole process of doing it is called data modeling. Clear?
Yes.
Is this clear? So what is the implication of this? You might be in sales department, isn't it? You want to analyze sales, right? And remember that before you started analyzing the sales, there was already a problem, isn't it? It is a problem that leads to you asking business questions that led to you going to get the data to start answering the question why, isn't it? But most time when your data comes in, you now need to do what they call dimension. You need to break them into what dimensions. For example, those questions of who is buying, what are they buying, where are they buying, when are they buying, how are they buying, isn't it? So all these questions are about what? The dimensions. So the question of what are they buying, which table answers the question of what are you buying?
Item.
Item or your product, is it not? Item or what? Product, isn't it? Question of who is buying, which table will answer that? Who is buying? Who is buying?
Your customer.
Your customer table, isn't it? Your customer table, right? When are they buying? Which table will answer question of when are they buying?
Time.
Time, is it not? Or what you call your calendar table or date table. Calendar or what? Date table, isn't it? Or your time. Can you see that? Where are they buying?
Location.
Can be location, is it not? Or what? Branch, is it not? Or region, right? Or whatever.
Okay.
So that is like location, isn't it? So either your location, your branch, your geography, or whatever, right? Now, all these are what? Dimensions. They are called what? Dimensions. Do you see that? They are called what? Dimensions. Because remember, if you ask which of our customer, who is our most profitable or most valuable customer, isn't it? Who is our most valuable customer? It means we want to dimension sales by what? The customer. Okay. So your questions, all these are the questions you have been asking. All these are the questions you have been asking. Where will the answer found? Where will the answer found?
Sales factor. No?
Sales. This is called this is where the answer will be found. And that's why it's referred to as what? A fact table. It's called what? A fact table. So once you see your data set, remember, by nature, what's the nature of data? By nature of data, what do you understand by nature of data?
Quantitative, qualitative.
Exactly, qualitative or what? Quantitative, isn't it? Because remember, we can break them into two parts, whether it's qualitative and quantitative. All these are what? All these are what? All these, they are what?
Qualitative.
They are all what? Qualitative, isn't it? Why this one is what? But the answer is here is what?
Quantitative.
Quantitative.
So the same way, we can break our table into two parts. Dimension table and what? Fact.
Dr. Francis,
Yes, sir.
just a clarification. So
Yes.
nature of data, nature of data, quantitative and qualitative are classification of nature of data.
Yes.
So what type of classification can we call structured and unstructured data?
Structured and unstructured data. So you see, the reason why that came up, so traditionally, right, from a statistical point, that's how we define it. In terms of the source of the data, in terms of what? The nature of the data, in terms of the timing of the data, right? But now with technology, over time, what we have been working with has been what? Structured data in tables, isn't it? With rows and columns. But over time, with technology now, you started noticing that what data now comes from different sources, and they are no longer in the traditional way we know it. Hence, that led to what they call unstructured data. Okay, so in terms of classification, you can classify it in different, depends on how you want to do it. Okay, but that one of structured and unstructured was just as a result of the volume of data. That's where big data comes in. So that is based on big data. Okay, so it's in the concept of big data that we look at whether it's structured or unstructured. Is that okay? Because that combination that gives you the big data. All right. So when we talk about data modeling too, we can look at data in terms of whether it is a dimension table or what? A fact table. Okay. So once we can do that, so when we put it in this structure, this is referred to as what? A star schema. So at every point, you must look at how the tables are what? Related. How the tables are what? Related. And in SQL, when we are trying to do this one, we have used what? Joins. Isn't it? You have used join to link this one, use join to link this one, use join to link this one, use join to link this one. So what we have been doing since writing those joins, they are actually, we're actually building what? A star schema. But when you write it like this, can you see that? When you put it in a logical form, how it should look like, that's you are building what? Your data model. I don't know, are we clear with the concepts? So let's go to practice. Are we clear with this concept?
Yeah, so
Yes.
Are clear with the concept? Okay, all right.
maybe we practice, it will be clear.
All right, okay, that's fine. Okay, but so far, just understand that when you are looking at any two tables, you must ask yourself, how are these tables what related? Isn't it? And how should they be related? What should be the relationship between the tables? What should be the relationship between the tables? What should be the relationship between the tables?
Unique identifier.
Eh? What should be the relationship between the tables?
One to many.
One to many, isn't it? And that's the most important thing you need to take out from here. That's what one to many what? Relationship. One to many relationship. So can we see this table now? Can we see this table? What do we call this type of table? We call it what?
Flat
A
table.
flat file. Call it a flat
Flat
file.
file.
Call it a flat file. Okay. Now what we are going to do, we want to break this table into what? Smaller bits. Right? We'll break it into what? Dimension and what? Fact what? Table. Okay. So let's look at this table. Which columns can we bring out together? Which columns can we bring out together?
Category.
Category. Let me do this way. All right. You say what? Category. So let's look at it. Okay, category, which one?
Category, subcategory.
Okay. Let's choose one side first. Which one should we start?
Okay. Let's start from the beginning. Order ID. I think that one is.
Okay. Order ID, order date, ship date, ship mode. Can we group them together?
Yes.
We can group them together.
Yes.
All right. So what do we call it now?
Order.
Okay, we'll call it what? Order table, right?
Yes.
All right. Customer ID, customer name segments.
Customer.
Can we group them together?
Yes.
We can group them together, right?
Yes.
All right, so let's group them. So what do we call this one?
Customer table.
Customers table. Okay. Country, city, state, postal code, region. What do we call it?
Location.
Location table.
We can call it what? Location table. So call it what? Location table. All right, good. Product ID. Product ID, category, subcategory, product name. Can we group them together?
Yes.
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 All right. So what do we call it?
Product.
Product table.
Call it what? Product table.
Product table.
All right. Product table. Good. Now let's look at this last one. Sales to profits. Can we group them together?
Yes.
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 So what do we now call it?
But there is a problem.
Revenue, Abby. Revenue.
Sales.
Revenue
There's
table.
also quantity, there's discount, there's profit.
There's no product.
Income.
How do we know what is sales?
Now, if we
There
remember,
must
we
be a
said that
quantitative. There must be a qualitative. Yeah.
now, and that's it again. Remember again, yes, thank you for mentioning that. That every table must have what? Every table must have what?
Quantitative.
A qualitative data.
Every table must have what?
Unique.
A unique identifier. So can you tell me, is there a unique identifier?
Okay, no.
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 So can this stay on its own?
No.
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 Can it stay on its own? So rather, who can it stay with now?
With the products.
Products. Can it stay with products?
Yeah.
Can it stay with location?
It could stay with product. Maybe the
Can it stay
product.
with, can it stay with others? Can it stay with others? Or can it stay with customers? Which one?
Yes, they can stay with others.
Others, right?
Others. Mm.
So more likely others.
Others.
So you can now say the order, this was the quantity, the sales, and the rest, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. So what you have seen, we have been able to what? Break the table down. Okay. So when you are breaking the table, you must ask yourself, does it have a unique identifier? Because if it does not have a, you cannot stay on its own. It will not make any sense. Because you cannot link it with anything. So that means this is product table. This product table now, is there a unique identifier? Product table, is there a unique identifier?
Yes,
Yeah,
there's product
product
ID.
Product ID. Now, this product table now, can it have duplicates?
Can it what?
Yes.
Can it have duplicates?
Yes. Duplicates. No, you shouldn't have duplicates.
Remember, what's the relationship we are looking for?
One to many.
One to many.
One towards many.
You shouldn't have duplicates.
So the question now is that this product table, can it have many? Or is only one? Which one?
The products can be duplicated now.
It can be duplicated.
The product
Yes.
that defines the unique
Now,
product.
if you remember, we are breaking this table into two parts. What are they? Fact table and what? Dimension.
Dimension table.
Dimension.
Your product, is it a fact table or a dimension table?
Dimension.
Dimension. Location, is it a fact table or a dimension?
Dimension.
Others, is it a fact table or dimension?
Is facts.
Others.
Dimension.
Other table. Is it a dimension or a fact table?
So that's a fact table.
That's a
Fact. Is a
That's
fact
what
table.
a fact table, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is it a fact table or dimension table?
It's a fact table.
Customer, is it a dimension or a fact table?
Dimension.
Dimension.
is what? Dimension or fact table?
Dimension.
Dimension.
Dimension. This dimension, is it one or many?
Dimension is
Many.
Dimension, is it one or many?
one.
It's many where we have dots or dark.
Dimension is one.
Is what?
Is
One.
one.
Is only one. But your fact table can be what?
Many. Many.
Remember, you can have 10 customers buy 1,000 times. This 1,000, does it mean you have 1,000 customers?
No. No.
It can just be 10 customers, 10 unique customers, you know, buying 1,000 times. So this is the one to what? Many. Can you see that? The same way with your product. They can buy one particular product many times. Isn't it? The same way with your branches. You can have different transactions you bought from different branches, but at the end of it, just 5 branches you have or just 2 branches you have. So that's one to many. So your dimension is usually what? The one, while the fact will be what? Many. You get that? Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Which means in this your dimension, it is unique. You cannot have duplicates. No what? Duplicates. You cannot have what? Duplicates. So I cannot have duplicate customers here. I cannot have duplicate, what they call it now? Product, okay, location. Duplicate location. I cannot have that there. I cannot have duplicate products. Okay, so all of them must be what? Unique. So that means in this table now, so how do we remove duplicates now? How do we remove duplicates?
Conditional.
Remove duplicates. Product ID. Okay. Have we removed duplicates?
Dr. Francis, where did you go to? Sorry, please.
Data. Data tools. Remove duplicates.
Okay, thank you.
So people have forgotten. All right, location. So how do we remove location? What's the ID here? The unique identifier here.
Is it the country?
Postal code. Yeah.
Postal code.
Yeah.
No, but you see, with postal code there, do you know that there are some cities that are so large that 2 places can share one postal code?
Yes.
Is it possible?
Yes, it's possible.
Only if you are absolutely sure that that place is unique, that code is unique, isn't it? Otherwise, you will not have to what? Look for a way to make that postal code what become what unique. So that's why you see, if there are 2 columns that are possible, right, to merge together to make them unique, they will call it what? A composite. It's called what? A composite key. So for example, we merge postal code and city. So even if the 2 cities, even we have 2 cities sharing the same postal code, but because of the city name, they will no longer be the same. So in that case, it now becomes what? Unique. Clear? Did you get that? It's just like, say, for example, let's say, for example, you have, let me see which name, let me see that we'll have any situation where we see 2 people sharing the same city.
Postal codes are usually smaller than cities.
Yes.
So we may not find.
I'm trying to see any situation where we can get, because sometimes it happens, and once you miss that out, you will not have a unique identifier, and that one can cause a big problem for you. I'm trying to see if we can see any situation where we will have two cities sharing the same postal code. Can we see any two cities sharing the same? No. Okay, let's look at this situation. For example, look at names. If you look at if you look at names, right? So most time we may say names can be unique, isn't it? Because no two persons have the same name in the class. Well, that's for now. But if somebody later comes and joins the class, it is possible that somebody will bear exactly the same name with you, isn't it?
Yeah. Very true. Very true.
Right? So instead of
Yes.
me calling the person, oh, Francis, and the person's name is Okoye, so that means we can have two people bearing the same name, Francis Okoye, isn't it? So how can we uniquely identify them now? How can we now uniquely identify the two Francis?
Francis 1, Francis 2.
Francis
Maybe
1,
they are-
Francis 2.
That's
Okay.
maybe the matriculation number.
Come and look at this. Look at this. Did you notice New York City now? Look at New York City. Can you see it bearing this number? Can you see New York City again? Can you see bearing another one?
Yes, yes.
So is it now unique?
No.
No, it's not.
It's not unique, isn't it? Good. So in that case, to make it unique, what do you now do? Even see another one, still same New York City. Can you see that? Bearing another one. Okay. You see another one, New York City again. Can you see how many have we seen now? 3 or 4 city codes for the same state. Can we see that? Can you see that? So which means that city code can no longer be what?
Unique identifier.
So rather what you now do, you can now what? You can
Concatenate.
now join the city code and city name. Can you see that? So just like adding a number to the name Francis Okoye 1, Francis Okoye 2. In that case now, the names may be the same, but the numbers are different. So now they are now what? Unique. So they refer to that as what? Composite what? Keys. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Clear? So
Yeah.
there are situations where we now have
Yes,
to
sir.
what? Merge them. So in that case, if we were to join them together, how we have done it? If you were to merge them together, how we have done it? Yeah?
Use concat.
Use concat. Okay, you can now what? Concatenate. So let's say I call it city code. City code. Let me say I have city equals to city and code. Then I can run that. So I now have city code.
So
Can you see
you
that
just use the and like the symbol.
Yes. Okay, you want to use the function?
No. I just seen that one today.
I thought have we not done this before?
It's concatenate.
Okay, we have used concatenate.
I don't know. This.
But if you want, you can also use this and. If you want, you can say and space and select. Can you see that? So this is the native way you do concatenate, but this is not the modern way of doing it. I'll take this one. Can you see that?
Yes, sir.
We can now put maybe we can now run it down. So in that way, so now this is now what? Unique. Okay. So since this is unique, you now have to also remove what? Duplicates. Okay, you now have to also remove what? The duplicates. Okay, so how do you remove duplicates? Data.
Data tools. Under
Yes,
two.
data tools, yes. So I want to remove what? Duplicates of what? City codes. All right, so that's it now. Can you see that? Others, can you have duplicates here? In your others table?
So I have a question.
Yes, please.
When you remove all those, when you remove the duplicates from what happens to all the data that was associated with those duplicates?
Which one?
Like for example, maybe the first name Holy Oak 1040. If
You
they
know
were like,
what? You know,
happens to the
those duplicates are actually, they are just redundant data. They are just redundant. You see, they are all the same thing now. They are all the same thing. So you're just taking one of all of them. That's all.
Okay.
Now you see that all these ones, they are all redundant. You know what do you think this was for? Can you see that?
Dr.
They are all the
Francis,
same,
like,
they are all the same thing. Yeah.
like what IJ mentioned, supposing you want to count like how many times a particular maybe city appeared or something.
Exactly.
When you now remove the duplicates, won't it affect your
no. It's because it's already here. It's going to be part of it here.
Okay.
Your orders. Do you get? It's going to be part of it in your orders or your location. Okay. No, we'll see how it works. We'll see how it works. I'm just explaining it in Excel so that you see that it's from Excel. So when we get to Power Query now, you understand how I'm doing it. I'm just explaining the concept so that you understand the concept first, what's happening there. Okay. Then customer ID. So we can now remove what the customers. Or can we have duplicate customers?
No.
Can we have duplicate customers here?
No.
No. All right, good. So we'll just take. All right, so this is what we have now. These are unique customers. So here, all these are our dimension. These are our what? Fact table. So you see some people, they'll do it like this. Product, then they will put either others and say dim. Dim stands for what?
Dimension.
Dimension, exactly. Order stands for what? Others will be what? Which table is others? Facts, isn't it? Why this is what? A dimension. Can you see that? So that's how they now link it and now build what they call their star schema. All right. So I'm clear with the concept now of what we are doing data modeling now. So let's go and implement it in Power BI. That's why when you are dealing with Power BI, right? That's why you still need some knowledge of what your SQL. Because all we have been doing is that we just import the data and be working. But most times, how your report will come out depends on how well you also build your model, especially data coming from different departments. Okay, because you may be in sales department, but you need data from production, you need data from finance, you need data from HR, you need data from different people, isn't it? But somehow you need to link all of them together. So that's what we are trying to do here. All right, so let's look at this now. So let's import our data sets. Okay, we have that our data. What do you call it now? Either you convert to table, right? Let me see. Is this a table? Okay, not this one. Let me. Which one did I use? Okay, convert to table. Let's see. Convert to table. Okay, let me use our. So let's say our customer table, right? Yes, okay. So you know the table we are using now, isn't it? We all know the table we are using.
Yes, sir.
All right, so transform it now. Transform data. So let me share my. Speed. All right, do we have this now? Do we have this? Have we imported it now?
Yes, I have, but it doesn't have those errors and code. Yours is showing.
You said what?
Yours on top shows valid, error, empty. Mine does not have that. But I've imported it.
Don't worry now, don't worry about it.
Okay.
But you have imported the data like this.
Yes.
Now, what you normally do is, right, once you bring your data, okay, you are talking about this one here, right?
Yes, yes.
If you go to view now, so if you want to see the column quality, can you see that?
Okay.
So column quality, once you just look at it, it just tell you how, you see anyone that is green like this, this is good. Anyone you see that is red, it means there's an error there. Anyone you see black, it means there's an empty cell there. Can you see that? Yeah. So this one is just to tell you that this data is clean. Yeah? So that's what you have there as column quality. But if you want to also see whether it's the column distribution, you want to see the column profile. This is the column profile. Okay, so all this one is just to explore your data, just to understand what's happening in your data. All right, so are we here now? Have we not imported the data now? Have we all imported this data now?
Yeah.
All right, great. So let's start. So what we are going to do, let's duplicate it. So duplicate, just right click on this, duplicate, right click, duplicate, right click, duplicate. All right, good. So we can have customer table, we can have, which other one?
Sorry, Dr. Francis,
Sorry.
can you do that again?
I did not see where my own is saying, is it replicate or something?
Duplicate. Have you seen it?
Yes.
No. Sorry, where did you click?
Right click on customer.
Okay.
Just right click on customer.
Okay.
Yeah. So you right click and duplicate, right click, duplicate, right click, duplicate, right click, duplicate, right click. So we now have 4, isn't it? So you can label it now, just double click on it and type whatever you want. So you can have product table. You can have what? Location table. Let's say you have location. Then this one can be what? Others table. All right, and others table. And others table. All right, good. So are we set? Now in this, so how do we remove columns? If you want to remove columns, how do you remove columns? How do we remove columns?
Sir.
Select.
Select, what are we selecting? Yeah?
Sir,
Yeah.
When we started, we felt like we wanted to give you some time to rest. So we wanted to reduce our session for today to just 1 hour so that at least you can rest.
No, it doesn't make any difference. Don't worry, it doesn't make any difference. After this, I still have another one again. So if you want to pity me, that person will not pity me. So don't worry. Let's continue. Yeah, thanks.
Thanks.
Yeah. Okay, so how do we remove columns now? So in customer table, now what do we expect to have now? We expect to have what? Customer ID to what? Customer segment, isn't it?
Yeah.
Do we know how to highlight columns?
Yes.
All right, so once you highlight your columns, right click, remove other columns. Can you see that?
Okay. Column ID person.
I'll do it again. You know how to highlight your columns, right? Choose the first one, hold your shift button, choose the last column, right click. Remove other columns. You know, remove other columns. Can you see that? Alternatively, we have another way of doing it. We showed you a different way of removing columns. How else can you remove columns? Or choose columns, isn't it? So you go to your choose columns. Choose columns. Now I will select all of them. Which columns do I want to see? Customer ID, customer name, and segment. Okay. So which one do you prefer? Choose columns or remove other columns? Which one do you prefer?
Choose columns.
Choose columns.
Choose columns. Okay, that's fine. Good. Now in this table, can we have duplicates?
Yes. No.
Yes.
No, it's cost. It's
We can't
customer.
have this.
In this customer table, can we have duplicates?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Oh,
Why? Why can we have duplicates?
Customer can make more than one order.
Customer can what?
Make multiple orders.
Multiple order, exactly.
This is your customer table.
Okay.
Customer table. So it's
Customer table, is it a dimension table or is it a fact table?
it's a dimension.
Dimension.
Dimension table, can they have duplicates?
no.
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 Take note of that. Take note of that. Because that's how you know what to clean and what not to clean. Okay. So here we'll remove duplicates. So just right click and say remove duplicates. Can you see that? Can you see that? All right, now let's watch the next one. Let's watch the next one. Products. So what do we use? We use choose columns, right? Choose columns.
But
say-
for stating, Francis, if we're
Yes.
building if we intend to build a relationship between the tables, is it not preferred in this case to delete all the tables, all the columns you don't want?
That's what we are doing now.
Okay.
That's what we are doing. Yeah.
I thought choosing table would mean that you can choose that column that.
Yeah, that's why. So if you look at it, just an easy way of removing the other ones. It's just another way of removing, especially when the columns are in different locations. So you can, rather than you having to select, go file again, select, you can just choose them here.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So your product table now, what are the tables with columns we want? Product ID, category, subcategory, product name, right? Good. Can we have duplicates here?
No.
Can we have duplicates here?
No.
So remove duplicates. Remove duplicates. All right, locations. Now in this our location table now, what do we need? So let's do that.
Sorry,
So
Dr. Francis, where did you
Yes.
go to remove duplicates just now?
Just right click on that, your product
Row
ID.
ID. Okay.
Yes, then right click and say remove duplicates.
Duplicates. Okay. Thank
You see, when it comes to data cleaning, Power Query makes life very easy for you. Otherwise, in Excel, you struggle. You will struggle. If at anything you want to start doing anything that has to do with cleaning, just forget about Excel. Just come straight to Power Query. By the time you are used to Power Query, gradually you say, this Excel, this Power Query, you hear the name Power, right? You will understand the power of it. Now let's look at, for example, let's look at this. Let's look at this. Let's look at this. You see your location table, right? Your location table. What are the columns what columns do we need in this location table?
Region, country, city, state,
Country, city, state,
state, postal code, region.
region. Okay. I think that's all now. Good.
Yeah.
Now remember that we said that we noticed that in New York, it has different what postal codes for the same state.
Yes.
Is that not it?
Yes.
So which means that postal code cannot be unique. So how can we make it unique?
We created city code.
City code. So let me drag this one so that I can put them close together so you can see what I'm doing. So I will merge this table and these two columns together. I will merge these two columns together. So what do? I'll click on this, hold my control button, click on this. Are you there?
So you didn't have to move it now.
No, I didn't have to move it. I just want to bring
Okay.
it together for you so
Okay.
you can see what's happening. So you see I've highlighted the two of them together, right?
Yes.
So I will now right click and say what? Merge columns. Can you see that? Merge columns.
Okay.
Now, how do I want to merge it? Do I want to use column, comma, separate, or space?
Space.
Let's use space there. What should we call this one? Let's call it city code.
City code.
City code. Have they been merged now?
Yeah.
Has it been merged? Should there be duplicates here?
No.
No.
So I'll right click and say remove duplicates.
Okay, sure.
So it's as if everything you need is just in right click.
Yeah, yes, most of the things you actually need is all right click, yes. That you do every time, yeah. Otherwise, you just come to either home or transform. That way you see most of that one.
So is the city code is going to be the unique
Yeah, the city code.
identifier. Okay.
Okay, now let's come to others. Others table now. In this others table, what do we need here now? So let's go again, choose columns. Choose columns. So what do we need? Let's say we need order ID, order date, ship date, ship date. Then we need sales, quantity, discount, profit. So this looks like what we did here, right? Isn't it? Can there be duplicates here?
Yes.
In your order table, can there be duplicates?
Yes, that's the
Yes,
fact.
Yes.
Yes, that's your fact table, isn't it? So this my customer is my what? Dimension is my dimension, isn't it? This my product is my what? Dimension table. This my location is what? A dimension table. And this my orders is what?
The fact table.
Is a what? Fact table. This is a fact table. All right. At this point, just hold on. But you understand what we have done so far, right? How we have converted this to. Now, let me show you the implication of what data modeling is about. Okay, just remain here. Don't move. while I go to back to Power BI.
Dr.
Because-
Francis, sorry,
Yes.
what's that valid error empty up there? Yeah.
It's just to check your column quality now. I showed you now. If you come to view, can you see column quality?
Oh, okay. I didn't take it. Thank you.
It's just for you to have an idea of what is column. If you want, sometimes you can use your column distribution.
Hello, doctor.
Yes.
Please, I missed the step on the location table. How you
Okay, on
did
the
the
location
magic?
table.
Yeah.
All right. On location table, right? So did you
Yes.
select your column, your city, and your code?
Yes.
Once you select the two columns, city and code, just right click and say merge columns.
Merge columns. Okay.
Clear?
Yes, thank you.
All right, that's fine. So now let me go back, but you remain where you are. Let me go back, close and apply. So let me go back to Power BI now. Power BI. Can you see my Power BI screen?
Yes.
Yes,
Now,
sir.
have you seen the 4 tables have come out now?
Yes.
So if this, for example, let's say segments. This is what we have been doing before. We drag segments. We'll come to others. Let's say we take sales and we'll put sales here. What did you notice? What did you notice? What did you notice?
One to many.
The
Put the total for everything. Is that
Yeah.
correct?
Mm.
Is that correct?
It's summed up.
Let me take another one. Let's say, for example, I take region. Let me take, let's say, profits. Is this correct?
No.
So anytime you see this type of problem, what does it tell you? When you see the total is repeated everywhere, what do? First of all, you go straight to what your data model. Can you see your data model here? Are they connected?
No.
No.
Are they connected?
No.
No.
What type of relationship do you want to see?
One to many.
You want to
One to
see
many.
a one-to-many relationship, isn't it? So, for example, now I cannot see what I can connect with what. If I drag this guy and put it here, it has given me something. No. If I drag and put, it will give you something. Can you see what it is? They create relationship. What is cardinality? When you hear cardinality, what does cardinality mean? Relationship. What type of relationship?
One to many.
One to many, many to one. Can you see where it is now? So that's what you are doing there. So whenever I see many to many, that means you cannot see. You have many items here, many items here. So there's no what link. So that's what a many to many. So most time we want to avoid it. Okay, so let me go back. So most time, once you have finished building your model, you have brought in the data. The next thing you need to do, come to your data model to see that they are well connected. Isn't it? That the relationship has been established. When you arrange it in this play, what is this structure called? What is this structure called? A star schema. So you try to create a star schema. So let's go back. So you understand where the problem is, isn't it? So they are not connected because what? There's no relationship. Clear?
Yes, sir.
All right, good. So let's go back. So anytime you want to go back from Power BI to Power Query, you just go to transform data. Transform data. So let me reshare my Power Query screen. So do we have this now? Do we have this now?
Yes.
All right, good. Now watch on my on my customer table. I have 3 columns here. I have 4 columns here. I have how many columns here? Okay, good. Now on others table, now take note on others table now. What column will link with customer table? What column is expected to be linked with customer table?
Order ID.
Yeah?
Order ID.
Order ID.
Order ID should be linked.
What table is supposed to be linked with customer table?
Table supposed to
Order
be-
ID and the customer are they the same thing?
No, they are not.
So that means they cannot be linked now.
Yes.
So the only way it can be linked is for you to introduce this customer ID inside others ID.
Yeah, it's true.
Do you understand that?
Yes.
So that is how you are now establishing their relationship. So I'll select the columns again now. Watch now. Choose columns. You notice I deleted my initial step. So now I'm going back to the full data now. So I'm going now. Choose columns. So watch. So I'll take my order ID, order dates, ship date, ship mode. So this is what we have done before. We selected this. But now we need to also link that customer table with this table. So how do we link it? By linking what? Customer ID.
Customer ID.
For product table, we link it with what? Product ID. Isn't it? For location table, what do we use? We use city and what? Code. Can you see that? Then I'll click what? OK. Now, where's my city and code? Now, check one thing. Is it city and code or code and city? Which one do we use?
Yes, city code.
City code.
City code. Isn't it? Because you're going to use code and city, they are two different things. So be careful. So we use what? City and code. So how do I do that? I will click on this, right click and what? Merge. Isn't it? What I use as the separator?
Space.
If you go and use semicolon, you go and put full stop, you go and put that is a different thing. So I'll call this one what? City code. If I let me even show you something. Let me even call it code city. You know what was called city code?
Yes.
This I want to call it code city. Right? I want to switch the names differently. But the content is the same. Have you seen that? But the content is the same. And in your fact table, can we have duplicates?
Yeah.
In your fact table, can you have duplicates?
Yes.
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 So always remember, your dimension table is 1. Your fact table is what? The many. So any question you ask about customers, about products, about location, all the answers will be found where? In your fact table. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Good. So now we have done this. Let's go back to our what? Power BI. So what you do once you have finished doing that, have you merged them now?
Sorry, Dr. Francis, what was the purpose of the name, changing it to Code City?
I just want to I want to just illustrate something that sometimes even when the names they don't match exactly.
Okay.
But the content are the same.
Okay.
You can still link them together.
Okay.
You get? It's only when the content are not the same, but the name is the same to give you a many-to-many error. You tell that this is like many-to-many. All right. Have we done this now?
Trying to conclude.
No, we are trying to do
I just want to be sure we have the same thing with you.
Oh yeah, okay, that's fine. Let me wait. Okay, while we're waiting, let me send you guys one file. I hope we have. Do we have any zip file like a WinRAR or anything? I've sent you a data set now.
Yes.
So you can unzip it. I hope you know how to unzip files. Have you seen the file now that I sent? Somebody can just share.
Yeah.
All right, that's fine. Good. All right, are we set? Are we set? Yeah, so we can show the WhatsApp group. Okay, maybe let me show the WhatsApp. So are we set now to go to Power BI? Not wins.
Dr. Francis, sorry, please.
Yes.
I want to see the contents of these orders, the columns that we chose.
Okay, the contents.
Yes.
Where under these choose columns.
I want to see from the order ID, order date.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
is
Okay, thank you, sir.
all right, good. So are we good to go? So confirm your customer table, you have this and you have removed duplicates. Your product table, you have this, you have removed duplicates. Your location table, you have these columns and you have removed duplicates. Your orders table, you included your customer ID, your product ID, and your city code. You merge these two columns together. And there can be duplicates here. So this is the menu. All right, so can we go now? Hey, are you seeing? Watch. Are you noticing something? Please, another thing you should take note of. Anytime you are working with data, please be watching the data types to check that they match. Can you see others dates? This one should be what? A date, right? This one should be what? A date. So watch your data type very well. Always watch your data type. Okay. All right, good. So watch your data type. Good. So I think it's all right now. So we can go now. So close and apply. Close and apply. Close and apply. So let me go now. Let me be sharing my. So remember now what has happened. Do you notice something has happened now? What happened?
It created the
It automatically detected the relationship.
Okay.
It detected the relationship on its own. If, for example, it did not detect, even can you see even the city code? You notice that this city code and code city, even there are different names. But it detected them the same way. Do you notice that? So in case you want to, this is one to what? What is this one?
One to many.
One to many, one to many, one to many. Let's say, for example, it did not detect this relationship. As let's say it did not detect this relationship like this. It
didn't detect one of them.
It did detect one of them for you, right?
Yes, I'm trying to fix.
You now say, please, I want you guys to marry. Oh yeah, take and marry. You drag. They are now what married. Customer, I want you to marry this table. Yeah, come here, come and marry. Can you see that?
Yeah.
But if
Dr.
Sorry,
Francis,
Dr. Francis, how did you marry them again?
Exactly.
I just took, for example, customer. What is the unique identifier in customer table?
Customer ID.
So I drag customer ID to match customer ID.
Oh,
Okay.
That's it. So you will now have a relationship like this. So this is now called what? This is called what now? What is this called?
A schema.
Your star schema. And remember, all these can be different databases. So all these can be different databases. That is why when you are doing your SQL, you are picking different word tables. Can you see that? From different databases and now building it in this form. So this is what we call the star word schema.
Dr.
Star-
Francis, I
Yes,
think once it identifies the same variable in the fact
yes,
table, it's already, it
will
links it up by itself.
automatically.
Okay,
So
that's what I thought.
you did it properly to link everything automatically. It will link it up automatically. So are we clear with this now? So now let's check this data now. You see that I already found what it is now. So that means that I can be in this table. I will drag segments. Can you see that? I'll go to fact table. I can take sales and it will work. Isn't it? Can you see it's working now?
Yeah.
Because when we're using flat files, you see, it was just by chance because everything is in the same place. That's why it's working well. You think that that's how life is. But by the time they separate them into different tables and there's no relationship, you're on your own though. Let me take profits and let's build it. Can we see that? So now you can start building your reports. But let's look at that thing again. Let's say, for example, do you notice that product, this is your product table and customer table? Is there a relationship between them?
No, there's no.
Table and customer table. Is there a relationship between them?
There's no direct relationship.
relationship.
So that means if I have gone to my customer name, I want to say, okay, can you tell me which product this guy is buying? So I go to my products table. I take products name here. You notice that there's no direct relationship, but the only reason why there's a relationship is because of what? The relationship they have with what? Other facts. Now you see that? So if I decide to now, okay, let me bring it values, but you see, it's going to bring all of them for me. So let's say quantity. Let me take quantity now and put here. Can you see that now? But it will not summarize it, but it will break it down for you. Can you see that? So in that case, these two may not have relationship, but indirectly they are related to this guy. Clear?
Yes. Yes.
All right, great. Now I sent you guys one file. Have you seen that file?
Your screen, I didn't see.
You didn't see what?
I'm not able to unzip. You say I don't have cool file viewer.
My own is showing as video player.
Do you have Wiz?
I have to unzip file.
If you have WinZip now, it should open now. Either WinZip or WinRAR. WinRAR. That means you have to go download.
Prof, please, could you say it again? My Zoom just restarted.
For those of you that are WinRAR, go and I've sent you the link to download WinRAR. You'll zip it. You say what? The file, right? It's already on this WhatsApp. It's on the WhatsApp group now, so you can download from WhatsApp the data set. Okay.
I mean the file is
you what?
Dr. Francis, the link has not dropped. So
the file
the link
itself.
to download WinRAR.
Or the WhatsApp group. Okay, that's
What's
I'm not,
Okay, WhatsApp
I'm
group.
not on the WhatsApp group. The group is, can you hear me, Doc?
Yes.
Can you hear me, Doc?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yes, go ahead.
Hello? I
Yes.
said, maybe I'm not on the WhatsApp group, the Data Analytics Club WhatsApp group, and I don't think
Okay,
anyone on
okay.
the level is on it. You know, we've
Yeah,
not done the
okay.
proper
Let me,
registration and things like that.
okay, let me share this here. Then let me share the file again. Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. So it has been shared now.
Okay, thank you.
All right, that's fine. Okay. Now let me see where I can, if I can open that file. Data. Okay, good. So let me open the file so that we can all see the file. So data modeling. Yes. So if you see the file now, we have about how many files now? 1, 2, about 11, right?
11, yeah.
About 11 files. So that means we have 11 tables. We have like 11 tables that we need. Okay, like 11 tables that we need there. So category, customer, territories, employees. So you have to look at it and ask yourself, how are these tables all related? Okay, how are all these tables what? Related. So it's just like you are playing game, but it's not a game. So you are looking at, I don't know which game is close to the one you look at. Let me open. So let's say, for example, categories. Categories. Now look at categories.
I can see us. Okay.
Can you see categories like this?
Yes.
Can you see categories now? This category, is it a fact table or is it a dimension table?
Dimension table.
Dimension.
The what?
Dimension table.
Dimension table, isn't it? Okay, so I can check the entire screen. Okay, good. Good, okay. So let me open the next one. Customer. Has customer table open now?
It's open.
Yeah.
You can open, okay.
Yes.
Customer table, is it dimension or fact table?
Dimension.
It's a dimension table.
Is what?
Dimension.
Dimension. Now, when you look at this table, what is the unique identifier here?
Customer ID.
Customer what? ID. Good. When you look at categories table, what's the unique identifier there?
Category ID.
Category ID. Have you seen it now?
Yes.
So let's go to now. Employee territories. We have just two. Employee ID and what? Territory ID.
ID.
Good. Let's go to the next one.
And duplicates.
Employees.
Yeah.
Employees now we have what?
Employee.
Employee ID, right? We have employee ID. What again do we have? Report to, okay.
Nothing.
Okay, here we have employee ID, right? So we have employee ID here. Good. So this employee ID, this employee table will be linked to what? This employee will be linked to what? Let's look at other details. Other details. Is this a fact table or is it a dimension table?
Fact table.
Is what? A fact table. So every analysis you want to do will be related to this. Can you see that? Now you see other ID here, product ID, which is the unique identifier here, which is primary key here.
Other ID.
Other ID, which means that product ID is what?
Foreign key.
A foreign key. And what's the role of this foreign key?
Create a relationship.
Create a relationship with which table now?
Product.
table.
Product table.
Product table, beautiful. With what? Product what? Table. With product what? Table. So can you see how it will be linked now? Is that clear?
Yes.
Yeah.
Is that clear? So that means from here, I can link this table, I can link supplier, I can link what category, isn't it?
Mm.
Clear?
Yes.
Clear? All right, good. So you understand what we want to do now, isn't it? So we want to see how to link them together. Now, there's one sheet I have now done, data model. Can you see this?
Mm.
Can you see this one?
Yes, sir.
This one is just to show you like the columns, how we are matching them. So there's product ID, this table, there's product ID. So that means this one will be linked with this one.
Mm.
Territories, zeros will be linked with employee territories. Can you see that? Supplier ID will be linked to supplier ID here. Customer ID will be linked with ID here. Is it not? Other ID, customer ID, employee ID, employee ID again. Can you see that?
Mm.
Now, but look at this. Orders and shippers, right? Orders and shippers. Let's look at it. Orders and shippers. Orders. Now watch orders, right? You have something. Can you see this ship here?
Mm.
And let's go to shippers. Shippers. Can you see shippers? You have shipper ID 1, 2, 3. Is it the same thing as ship here? The name may not be the same, but they're actually doing the same thing, isn't it? So one call this ship ID, the other call ship via. Is that clear?
Yeah.
So sometimes the column names may not be the same thing, but look at the content, are they the same? Okay, so that's why as data analysts, before you start all these things, you must understand what the table. Do you get? You must understand, you must have an understanding of the business, of how the business works, and that enable you know how to link all these tables work together.
Dr. Francis.
Yes, ma'am.
If the names are different but the contents are the same, will it automatically recreate a relationship?
Exactly, like we showed you that we did city code and code city, still linked it together now.
Okay. Okay.
So take note of that. Okay. All right, so let's start. So first thing we are going to do, we are going to import those files. We import each of those files. We import each of those files. But what you should take note of, because they are not in what we did before, we can easily combine them. But in this case, they are not in the same structure, so we cannot combine. So just bring them one by one. What type of files are they? Are they CSV? Are they Excel files? Are they, what kind of files are they?
I think they are CSV files.
Yes, since they are CSV files, so where do we go to? Get data. Get data from where?
CSV.
Text or what? CSV. So let me go to my data modeling folder. So I'll import this one here. What's next? What's next? Transform data. Transform data. Can we see that? So let me share my Power Query screen. So this categories table now, isn't it? So if I want to bring in the next one, I can say new source, right? Or I can say recent source and go and pick wherever it is from. Okay. So let's just go one by one. So it's a CSV file. I'll go there again. Category. So let me bring the next one. Customers. Customers. Okay. Next. Customers. I think you understand what I'm doing here, right? I'm just importing each of them one by one. Okay.
Okay.
So just bring all of them one by one.
Okay.
I'll bring categories, bring customers, bring employee territories. So I'll go again. New source. These employees. Bring them together. And go again. Bring another one. This is employees. Bring other details. Now, if you're in SQL, what to merge all of them together? What are you going to do to merge all of them together to bring them from different tables? What do you do if you're in SQL? If you're in SQL, how do you merge all these things together? Yeah. Products. If you're in SQL, how you have joined all these things together? Hello. So if you're in SQL, how will you join all of them together? SQL experts.
I think we use join.
You use what? The joints, exactly. Use the joints. You use the joints. So we have brought region, shippers. So that means that you'd have used SQL to query all this data, instead of from all the databases now, right? Once you bring them like this now, you now start bringing them together and start working. Suppliers. And most times, this is how you work. You have a whole lot of data sets. Before we are just working one file. We'll just work with one flat file. But most times you may not work with a flat file. You may have data from different sources. Okay. All right, I think I'm done now. I think I am done now. So I hope there are 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, there are 11 now. All right, good. So let's go one by one and check. Is this data clean enough? This first one, category, is it clean?
Yes.
So most times it is good that you just come to your view, click on column quality so you can see whether everything, there's no error, no empty cells. Can you see that? That can also help you. Is that okay? So this table, is it clean enough?
Yes, sir.
It's clean.
All right, so let's go to the next one. Customers. Is this clean? Customers?
Yes.
No error, no error. Is this table clean?
Yes.
Look well. Is this table clean? Jesus. Is this table clean? Look at it again.
Yes.
Yes. So nobody can
Looks
see
clean.
it.
Yes,
Looks
it
clean.
is.
It's saying valid, 100%. No error. No
But
issues.
look beyond the valid. Look beyond that.
It's not clean.
Okay.
We need to make the title of the table.
Thank you. Because every table must have one row of head. So what's the row of header here?
Oh, okay.
Can you see that now? So how do we correct that?
Promoted.
Promote.
Remote header, exactly. So is this better now?
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you see that? Because otherwise, when you, by the time you have taken it to Power BI, now you start having errors. You say, enemies are at work. All right, this one clean. It looks clean, right? So employee ID looks clean. Again, remember to be checking the data type, right? That if it's date, is date. If it's also check. All right, looks okay. Other details. Other details. This one look clean. Yeah, okay, looks clean. Others. Oh yeah, let's see. This one has 3 empty. Let's see. Okay, there's nothing you can do about that. Okay, looks okay. Products. So don't just jump and just say, the data looks clean though, and you run. Somehow something must be there. Anyway, so you check shippers, okay, suppliers. Now suppliers, you notice suppliers has empty here. Can you see that?
Yes.
So what can we do in that case? So we can remove it, is it not?
Yes.
So I come here and say remove
No.
no. All right, great. I think that one looks cleaner now. Much better.
Dr.
All right.
Francis, I have a small problem.
Which
Yes, sir, go ahead.
I have a small, okay, the one we did before, I want to, how do I close that and start this new one? So I don't know.
So normally, I
Yeah.
just prefer closing my Power BI and then starting it again. Do you get it?
Okay.
But otherwise, because if you are bringing new data, you still be adding all the data sets together for you. So you are allowed to choose which you want to use. So all depends. So you can save the previous one you have done, then you can bring the new data. So I just prefer closing it and start it again.
Can you just go to file and pick,
you can go to file, you can go to file.
And new. That's what I did.
Okay. I don't have new here. I mean,
If you go to file, so this is on Power Query now. You know your previous one would have been compiling here. You can just delete it now. Normally what I just do, I'll just close it and start again, just in case.
Okay.
Yes. Somebody else was trying to ask a question. What was the question? All right, that's fine. Okay, so suppliers we have. I think that looks okay. Territories looks okay. Okay, so I think we are good to go now, right? So once we are done with all this, what do we do? Close and apply. Now this thing will start fighting so many demons. Because it has to be what? Can you see creating what? Connection in model. Loading data to what model? They detected. All right. So once we are done, so what's the next thing we do? Once you have imported the data, what's the next thing you do?
You visualize, you see the relationship.
Where will you see the relationship?
The table, the last icon on the right.
Click on the model.
Model, exactly.
The model, okay.
Click on the model, exactly. So let us see now. There are some that are seen, some that are not seen. So let us now arrange it from our schema. So if in case you want to, you can reduce it here. Can you see that? You can reduce it here so you can see everything.
Okay.
Did you see everybody?
Can you do it again, please?
Do what?
How you?
You see a zoom here now. You can zoom it in. You can zoom it in. Oh, this is to fit the screen. To fit the page. All right, good. What is our dimension table and what's our fact table?
Fact table is the order table.
Fact table is order table. Right. Let me take this guy. This is the details. Let me bring these two together. What again?
That's
What
the
if-
only fact table.
Yes. What of the product?
Wait, sorry.
what up to product?
Okay.
Isn't it a fact table?
Is it a fact table? Okay. So if you look at the product now, is it also a fact table?
I think it's a dimension table.
So your product is a dimension table. So now if you look at it, right? If you see your, let's go back to the table. So look at product table. Now you see the product table has a lot of this thing there, where you can also do some computations, isn't it? So that means this, in this case, this your product table can be what? A fact table. Can you see that? It can also be what? A fact table.
So,
but again, if you want to, but the
there-
thing is that it now depends on how you want to go about it. You can take it as a fact table or you can take it as a dimension table. So it all depends on how you want it. Because you see this product name. Yes, go ahead.
I was going to ask, all along I have understood that in a data model there will be one fact table. So that's not necessarily the case.
Yes, but in this case, you know, because the data is quite large, so you may not have all the, even see your others table. Look at your others table. You see, even your others table, they also even broke them into two. Can you see
Other
that?
details.
And others. Can you see that?
Yeah.
Can you see that?
Yeah.
So they even broke them into two parts. So it now depends on what your objective is.
Okay.
You get it's what your objective is, and not determine whether it's a fact table or dimension. So if you are now trying to understand products, is it not? Which product had the highest, you get orders or highest sales or highest profit or what have you, then in that case, you can take your product as your what? Dimension, isn't it? But if in terms of maybe the most of the data you wanted is the product table that will enable you to do other computations, then in that case, that your product table can become what? A fact table. Clear? So it all depends on your objective or what you are trying to analyze. But in this case, it looks like product table here is going to be a fact table. Okay.
Dr. Francis.
Yes.
Sorry, I don't know if this question sounds right. When you have tables like this and you want to link them up. So for instance, if I decide to make my order table my fact table and I need to have, for instance, customer ID here, some things that are not here, but I want to link it with other dimension tables.
Okay.
How do I do that? Because I already have I don't have the master sheet. I just have different tables sent to me. So what do I do?
Okay, you want to now create it?
Yes.
Okay, so they cannot be linked together.
Exactly.
Okay. So let's go back to Power Query. Let me go back to Power Query. So most time what you actually do, right, is just for you to add a column. Can you see that? You can add a column. So it now depends on what you want to do. Okay. If I add maybe conditional column, maybe this conditional column, maybe use custom column. Okay, so let's say equal to, let's say this is give an example of one column you want to add here.
Customer ID. I don't know if it's here already.
You have customer. Okay, here you have category ID. Okay, let's say it's customer ID you want to add, right? Customer ID here, isn't it? So I will have a column customer ID, isn't it? But there must be a way that whatever customer is here will be linked in that other table. Let's say, for example, let's say Francis, like this. Can you see that? So I'll click.
Okay.
Okay, or let me just say customer. So let it just be like that one was customers table. Let's say customers. So that means everything here will just be what? Customer. Can you see that customer here, right?
Okay.
So that means that I can now connect it with that other word table,
One.
so that when I'm merging them, I'll say, okay, this one was for customer, this one was for product, this one was for region, and all of them will now come into one.
One. Okay.
So you can do that. So there are different ways of doing it. Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, so let's just go back. Just close, not apply anything. Okay, so let's go back to our this thing now. So everybody, is everybody linked together? Shippers is not linked. Shipper was what? We noticed shipper was with who now? Others. Was it others table? Yes, this one. So we'll drag this guy, come and marry this guy. Did he create the relationship? Yes. So is anybody left out? But can you see that this one now looks very complex? And this is how you work as data analysts. It's not just once a sales spreadsheet that you be doing everything. Sometimes these tables need to come from different places. Okay. So if we come down, let's say, for example, I want to analyze, let's say, region by whatever. So let's look at, okay, let's say category. So let's say category name. Category name by what now? Other details, just by other details. Let's say by quantity. Can you see that now? So you can now start to do your visualization. But if, for example, two columns have no relationship, what will you notice? Where two columns have no relationship, what will happen? Where two columns have no relationship, what is going to happen? It will give you the same exactly. Can you see something like this? Can you see that? So that means this problem is coming from what? The model. So what do? I went for region. This is not region and what? Other. So there's no relationship between them. So the only way there can be a relationship, I have to now look for one way to now what? Bring the relationship together. So that means you must look for a way to connect this guy with this guy, directly or indirectly. Can you see that? So that is where data modeling is. Okay. But once you have done your data modeling correctly, then you can now start your vision. That's why I say visualization is the least of your problem. Because once your model is not correctly connected, that's the end. So you can go through this again.
But I was thinking there is a distant relationship. I don't know whether that's is there no way to come from, do the query until you get to others through those other intermediate
yes, so this and those ones now. So this, like, for example, this is like a one-to-one relationship. If I say one-to-many, I've made it one-to-many relationship now, isn't it? So somehow, let's see, if I go back, it will still not, but you still have to just look for a way to connect it there. How that region, so we just look for how that region will be linked with your, let's say, quantity or whatever you have there. So everything for this one to work, it means you have to come back to what? This relationship. Once you sort this out, this will be sorted out. So the point I'm just showing you that sometimes you don't just drag and drop. It all comes from this your model.
Dr. Francis.
All right. Yeah.
Sorry, one more thing. What did you connect? How did you connect shippers with others? What did you use?
Shippers with others. I just dragged shippers ID to ship via. Can you see the ship?
Okay, it's the same. Oh, okay. Thank you.
Although you don't see them at the same, but since I know that they are the same, I drag it there. All right, guys. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Please take care of yourself.
Thank you so
Thank
much,
you,
sir.
Dr.
Take care.
Francis. Take
And
care
take
of
care of
yourself,
yourself.
please.
I will. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
All right, bye, guys.
Everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Thank
Bye,
you.
everyone.